Tonight, we have a very special dead shot one-off of Outbreak Undead. Thank you for joining us. We have an amazing live audience in front of us. If you're unfamiliar with this game, allow me to illuminate you and to walk you through some of the shadows of the human spirit together. We're going to face nightmares together. Many of them await us around every corner. And if we're brave enough to look closely at the darkness around us, we may see something very, very unique. This is a zombie survival simulation. It's unlike other games that you've played in the past. And as you can imagine, it's not for the faint of heart. I, as the game master, have already confirmed consent with each and every one of these amazing players. Our lines and veils have been very carefully drawn, and we have safety protocols in place to assist and protect everybody at the table tonight. We ask you for your consent as well, and we encourage you to listen to this content warning very closely. We are here to tell a dark tale, but we do not do this haphazardly. We don't do it without our hearts. This isn't gore and violence for gore and violence sake. It's about exploring extremes, discovering what makes us human, and imagining what it would be like to be in a situation where everything we know, everything we've come to understand, is pulled away from us. I don't think I have to remind anyone here tonight. We had echoes of this not so long ago. This world can do that for us. Role-playing games can offer us a venue to explore together. And I'm asking you to come with me and all of these players as we do that with you here tonight. I encourage you to stay with us and walk down some of these dark corridors that we have planned. This game offers us all opportunities to explore these dark themes and to shine a light on the human condition in the safe confines of our imagination. But that takes bravery of everyone at the table and all of you, because you're part of the story. You see, dear friend, not every character at this table is being played with the same objectives. And I have some very special surprises in store for each and every one here. Some of these characters have motivations and objectives that are directly against the others, through choices of their own in previous roleplay. Some are in communication with, frankly, evil forces, unknown forces. This is the apocalypse, and to survive is a day-to-day struggle. Food, water, security, shelter, these are not things that are guaranteed. The dead walk the world. The dead own what we have left behind. There are no magic swords to be discovered here, no valiant knights or castle walls to hide behind. These dangers wear a face in a world that died long ago. It's the echo, the dying gasp of that civilization that was halted dead in its tracks by a horrible virus. But in that darkness, hope burns the brightest. I want to show you that flicker tonight. I would like to thank Ivan Van Norman, Chris De La Rosa, J.B. Jara, Alex Hellman, and the entire Hunters team for helping make this campaign happen. Simply put, without them, our story would not be going 50 sessions strong. We have a growing and ravenous community, and in this crowded tabletop space, we are proud of what we've built together, and we're constantly trying to improve. So we've done some things to help you connect with us and help to build this relationship even further. We want you to be part of these survivors, of this community, of this world. We wish to introduce you to the Scribe program, provided by Foreteller. In the panels of our Hunters Entertainment Twitch right here, you'll be able to find in the coming weeks many tools that are going to allow you to directly build a character and exist as a survivor within the world that we've created. You're going to get to make choices that are going to mean the difference between life and death to all the various linked settlements within the Rag and Bone universe, and you're also going to help create factions. You're going to support them. There's going to be a map of settlements, and those earned resources and influences that you spend are going to affect this game as it moves forward. We're very excited, and we're very thankful to Foreteller for helping to make that happen. They've developed this application, and when you have the chance, we entreat you to please take a look at it. We want to do something different. We want to make new content, and we want to grow, and we want you to grow with us. Help us tell this story. Enough of all of that. Allow me to introduce to you the players that I am honored to sit with in person tonight. Our little nightmare is going to be undertaken by them. Michelle. Welcome.
Hello.
Would you like to talk a little bit about who you are, what you do across the internet, and tell them a little bit about your character tonight?
Sure. Hey, everyone. I am Michelle Bradley. You can find me on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny. I am a professional show host, professional tabletop role player. Here on Hunters Entertainment every Tuesday. Got confused where I was in time and space. And you can also see me in such shows as Critical Role. I am playing tonight my regular character, Faith. My first character died, so this is the other one. This game is super rough. Quick lore, just while I have the floor. Only Markia and then our other regular player, Luis, have characters that have survived since the beginning of this game. We started last year. The rest of us have died multiple times. Anyway.
And they have both got dangerously close to
Yeah,
the
I almost died
more
last
than
week,
once.
before that one. So my character's name is Faith. I'm part of a faction called the Citadel. So it's sort of like a military antagonistic group that has very strict rules. They have a lot of combat gear, a lot of resources because they steal them from their communities. But I was raised there, not knowing any better. Recently, I had a huge character arc where I sort of like had a "Are we the bad guys?" moment, and I pretended I was dead and left the faction. And am now traveling with some of the Rag and Bone crew. I'm not sure where we're starting tonight, but that's sort of where my character is emotionally. A lot of crying happened. It was very good, and that's me. It's Faith.
She's come a long way. She's not baby Faith anymore.
I'll stop that.
Markia, welcome. You are the endless survivor here at this group. You have managed to make it through the unimaginable. Would you like to talk a little bit about your character, about everything you do with Hunters Entertainment and beyond?
Yeah.
And just illuminate us, please.
Why am I so worried with you keep on bringing up I'm a survivor? You don't have to bring this up. Like, don't put the spotlight on me with that. Hi, I'm Markia McCarty. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty. It's MarkeiaMccarty. I am a voiceover actor, professional TTRPG player, host and interviewer. One of the major projects that you could find me on is Something Scary. If you go to youtube.com/snarled, we do animated horror, weekly animated horror episodes. It's from fan-adapted stories from all over the world. The focus is inclusion, multiculturalism, and scaring the F out of you. So go ahead and check that out sometime. And then obviously, I love doing this with Hunters Entertainment. I'm also the marketing manager for Hunters Entertainment. So if you have any marketing ideas that you want to go past after this, go ahead and ring me up. So for my character for this, her name is Achira Sampson. She used to be a really good person. She was a really good person. And then because of the suicide of her brother back when the world fell apart, she ended up killing her first person, which was the person that she believed drove him to suicide. And then from that point on, she basically became a serial killer for hire for the Citadel, which the early stages of the Citadel for that faction. She is a stealthy, roguelike character, and honestly, she didn't know better. She didn't know her own kind of self-worth. One of the things that she did was she would take care of the children of the Citadel, the ones that they would go out into the zombie apocalypse and bring back in to then, relearning or retraining them for their ways. She escaped with some of the children, could not take care of them, abandoned them. One of them was Michelle's character, Faith, baby Faith at the time. As the years passed, Achira realized that realized her own self-worth, realized that she needed people, even if they kept betraying her. Fell in love. That person was beheaded by her best friend. She doesn't know that yet, though. You know it now. And at this point in the story, she is doing the best she can to keep her best friend alive and not becoming a complete zombie. He's only a partial zombie right now. And she is closely affiliated with a faction called the Enders. Think of the Enders, I think of the Enders as, Rick, Michonne, and the such with The Walking Dead, where they're trying to build a civilization, but they're also against letting other people in. Like, I think of the Enders like that, but think of that as a trading route type of a thing. So, yeah, that is where Achira is in that land right now.
I'm very excited to see what happens here tonight.
He's gonna kill me.
I do not kill anyone. I only mediate the dice.
He's gonna get
I
Michelle
am
to kill
neutral
me.
in all things. Jason, thank you so much for being with us tonight. You are from the Foreteller team.
Yes.
Would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, what you do, and also the character that you're going to be playing tonight?
Sure. My name is Jason, and I am one of the co-owners of Foreteller Games. I'm not sure if anybody knows or has heard of us. We do the Foreteller crew over there.
Please, they deserve it.
Yeah. We produce audio narration for a various amount of board games, and we also have created the Scry tool in tandem with Hunters Entertainment for a higher immersion experience for tabletop shows. So I hope that you all use it and enjoy it. My character's name is Reese Chappell. I am fairly new to this universe, so I don't have much of a backstory, but Reese is part of the Calvary faction and had a horse named Whisper, but has since lost that horse in a very tragic way. The last horse that he birthed and helped grow, and it was very devastating to Reese, so he is now a wandering blacksmith trying to find his next horse to shoe.
All life within this world is very precious, and a horse is more in this world than just a companion, an animal companion. It is your livelihood. It allows you to escape danger. It allows you to travel. It allows you to create opportunities for exploration. Without that, in a world without cars, Reese is in trouble. Sarah, I'd like to welcome you. Would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, where you can be found across the internet, and the character that we've created for you tonight?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. I go by Sarah is Coffee everywhere on the internet. I am a TTRPG creator, streamer. When I'm not here with these lovely people, you can find me online on the Welcome Inn almost every Friday. We don't play tomorrow because I'm here playing Restrada, which is just a lovely little character every Friday, 7 p.m. And otherwise, you can just find me on all other social medias. Tonight, I am playing a character named Polly Pocket. She is a wild child who has found relics of the old world, the 90s, and has completely co-opted them into her lifestyle. Everything about her is 90s if you discovered what the 90s was but had absolutely no context of what the 90s was. She is bubbly and sweet and fantastic and will kill you so fast. So yeah, that's who I'm playing tonight.
We're glad to have you here. Thank you for being with us. Last but not least, I'd like to welcome Alex Hillman to the table. Alex has been a mainstay for us all here at Hunters Entertainment, one of the project leads and creators, writers for the books themselves, and is playing a very important character to this world. And he wanted to be here at this table tonight. And so we will facilitate that. However, no one is safe. Alex, would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, everything that you do at Hunters, and also your character, Tin 4?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi guys, I'm Alex Hillman. I am a brand manager and community guy and writer and developer, as Knox was saying, at Hunters Entertainment. I helped develop Outbreak Undead that we're playing here this evening. You can obviously catch me on all of our social media, our Discord, which if you're not a member of, you absolutely should be. You can also catch me on another channel that I help do stuff with called Fairpen, PENH. Over there, presently, I do a lot of tech directing, and I'm also on a little show called Vampire Blood on the Bayou that does Vampire the Masquerade, so if you're into that, definitely check it out. However, for this game tonight, I am playing 10-4. 10-4 is he's essentially the leader of the Ender's Line that Markia was telling us a little bit about there. And he probably has a slightly different outlook on what the Enders are than what a Chiro might necessarily have. I think at 50 some odd episodes in, we can safely say at this point that if the audience hasn't quite caught on yet, 10-4 might not be the best person in the world, but I don't really think anyone in this apocalypse is. But a lot of people have latched onto him as kind of like the hero in the background, and I don't necessarily know if that's the right mentality.
Perhaps not.
We'll see how it all pans out, though. He's getting into the weeds tonight, so that's not normally his forte, and
I guess we're going to see exactly.
yeah.
I'm interested to see that happen. You have been a more remote figure, a guiding force to many of the survivors that are sitting at this table tonight. Without further ado, I believe we should get started. I'm going to recite something to you that we recite before every session. It gives us a little context, and I like to think it leads us into the events that will transpire here at this table. If anyone, since we are not currently working electronically, if anyone does need to X out, this is the signal to stop the scene and move forward. That means that we will stop what we're describing and move forward. Since we are on GenCon TV, I will be taming my language a little, and we will remain at a PG-13 level tonight. However, there are a lot of boundaries there that we have been allowed to cross. So we will begin the story now. The world ended on Monday, May 29th, 1995. The sky fell, and the dead would not die. Civilization quickly collapsed, and the sickness spread like lightning to even the most remote reaches of the world. They called it many things, but it started out simply as another round of the flu. It became something far, far worse. H195, commonly called the Legacy or the Reaper's Kiss, was deadly. It spread like wildfire. And at first it seemed as if no one was immune to the airborne strain. But eventually, it appeared that 0.01% of the population had a natural immunity. However, even those lucky souls couldn't withstand a concentrated introduction of that virus. Through a bite, or a deep scratch, or blood-on-blood contact. The dead did not lie. They attacked, ravenous and hungry for living flesh. Family turned on family, friend against friend. The end of days burned around the world. People sought security and sanctuary where there was none. Entire cities burned to the ground. But miraculously, some survived. And for the next 25 years, life has struggled forward. The world now is a fractured place, but some seek to make civilization anew. The Ender's Line is a rag and bone merchant group. It uses old railway tracks to connect the small and scattered outposts and settlements all across what was once known as the Midwestern United States and beyond. These merchants are a lifeline in a world that now belongs entirely to the dead. There is darkness. All of you are surrounded in it. You're having trouble breathing. There's a heavy metallic clang as you rock back and forth. Your hands are bound behind your back, your feet to your hands. You smell burlap. Strange incense is burnt in the air. And you hear their singing. Slow, rising songs. A song that some of you know all too well. Children of the valley. The shepherds. They rose from the darkness. None of the communities, none of the factions have been safe. Survival has been made nearly impossible. And where many of you were hanging on by a thread, now you're losing your grip. And everything is falling apart. Ajira Sampson, you hear their voices. You remember falling. You remember being taken to the Citadel. And now you're here. Polly Pocket, you were free. You've always survived on your own. You have small cliques and collectives that you gallivant with. And for sure, you know the paths. You know the safe ways to walk. No doubt. But they didn't save you this time. They came quick. The dead, you heard them. But they were so quiet. Usually you hear them. But now, they move without making a noise. The other wild children that you were traveling with, you couldn't get to them in time. They overtook you. You made your way up a tree. You used everything you had. You crawled, you scrabbled up. But then you heard it. A song rising through the darkness and piercing with a sweetness to it. Like the saccharine smell of a rotting body. That song is still in your ears. Children of the valley. You've come so far. So many questions. Your brother. Lies. The Citadel is full of lies, and that was the shield that guarded you, that protected you, that shielded you from the realities of this world so that you could fight on and make a difference. You believed in them. You were a soldier. You didn't question. Now you question everything. And it didn't save you. You thought that she meant you no harm, Sister Deidre. And Lampwick, that smug son of a bitch, just stood and watched as they took you. And they put the bag over your head and they wrapped your wrists in rope. And then clubbed you over the head. Everything went dark. You felt like he was trying to say something to you with his eyes, that he meant to make this right, but you don't know anymore. And now you're rocking back and forth, the metallic clang. It's a railway car. All of you are inside of it. There are other people here, breathing, gasping. You smell their sweat, their blood, their fear. Reese Chapel. They took down a whisper in front of you. You watched. They forced you to. They held your head straight so that you couldn't look away. And they pried your eyelids open. A sweet whisper was disemboweled by the horde of the dead. And they ate the only thing that mattered to you in this horrible, broken world. You were there when she was birthed. You pulled the full out. Breach. Dangerous. You brought life where there was none, and that is what you do. Sure, you're a blacksmith. You've learned a trade. You can shoe better than anyone in the cavalry. But when push came to shove, the cavalry didn't come. And you were left alone. And now you're here. Joseph Whitaker. 10-4. The radio cracked and popped and whistled all day. You thought that the generators were broken. You thought you were at another secure safe house. You've got plenty. Ruby Red was en route. You couldn't wait to see her face. But you may never see it again. And you know that now. You don't know if they know who you are, or if they think you're another stray ender. But they found the papers. They found the tapes that you were smuggling. The VHS. Those secretive messages that had been ferreted throughout the Penn region. And now you have a burlap sack on your head, handcuffs on your wrists, behind your back, and you don't have a plan. For the first time in a long while, you're hanging in the wind. No call signs, no radios to protect you. There are others here. They're all around you. Achira, you feel yourself being pulled up. Do you allow this to happen?
I'll allow it and fall up against them like I'm too weak to stand.
Very well. You stumble forward. You feel two people behind you. They feel strong. You're not certain. You think one might be male, one might be female. It's hard to tell, but you're taking steps down now. Walking down a corridor, you hear echoes. You hear others around you. Faith, two individuals pull you up off the ground. Do you allow it?
I allow it.
You feel yourself stand. They're not harsh. They're careful. They're not rough, but they march you down a corridor. You've traveled with Rives and Rowan long enough to know what a burlap sack over the head in a quiet march can mean. Do you move forward?
I hold back a bit.
You feel their grips tighten. Do you continue to resist?
I do, and I yell, "All right, what is this? Does this have to do with Limpwick's bullshit? Is this... I'm not here to see your goddamn god."
Do not worry, child. You will see much tonight. And you feel a knife in your back, pressing you forward. Do you move forward, or do you fight?
I move forward.
You reluctantly move forward. You feel the knife release itself. You continue to walk. You did learn something in that moment, though, Faith. It was a hooked blade, small, not a normal combat knife. Something else. Polly, you feel two individuals pull you up off the ground. Do you resist?
Polly doesn't resist, but does the very young thing of deadlifting so that they have to physically lift her off the ground.
Realizing that you will not stand on your own, you feel strong individuals lift you up and drag you. You feel your feet hitting the steps down off the rail car. You feel brick and then concrete, broken, plants, other vegetation. You smell something in the wind as they drag you. Diesel gasoline. What do you do?
Can I try to use that smell as a way to identify my surroundings more?
Make a spot listen check for me. Our first roll. I'm going to add 2 black dice of difficulty, given that you have a bag over your head.
Absolutely. All right. Whew.
Ooh, that's an exploding.
6 explodes. Roll
Yes,
again,
roll
correct?
They roll it again.
Yeah, so this means...
Oh, another exploding.
Now, are you rolling your difficulty dice at this point, since both are black, or are 2 of those your check itself?
Those are the difficult.
These are
They
the
are?
difficulty dice.
So your
yeah.
difficulty is going to be far too high for you to see, don't you think?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
You have 3 competency points. Would you like to use any of them to buy down your catastrophic failure?
She has a total of 6.
6
She has
total.
some efficiency.
Oh, okay, you have efficiency as well.
Yes.
Thank you, Markia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you like to use some of your competency points to try to mitigate this failure? I will be very clear. This has just begun.
Yeah, I think I will.
Very well. How many would you like to use?
2.
2. So actually what that does is that removes any catastrophic failure and turns this into a regular old failure. You can't. You're trying to catch your surroundings around you, Polly. They're jerking you back and forth. The diesel smell is so overpowering, you can't smell anything else. And then you go into a dark, dark tunnel. And you know this because even through the burlap, everything becomes pitch black as they drag you forward. 10-4. You feel a pair of hands on you. Do you allow them to stand you and march you off of this rail car?
He does, and while they're standing him up, about damn time.
They quietly step you down off the rail car. Do you say anything else?
Looking forward to this wine and dine.
They say nothing. Do you resist in any other way, overtly?
No.
Achira, make a spot listen check. You have 2 black dice of difficulty.
Anything I can put into that, or because I have that burlap sack?
You have
Yeah.
your hands tied behind your back and none of your gear nearby. Any weapons that you have that are overt are not on you. If you had anything hidden, we'll discuss it.
I got a total of 6 with my black dice of difficulty, and I got a 29. My spot listen is 49.
Okay, so with that, we're going to call that a success. You hear a voice that is familiar in the distance behind you. It takes you a moment, but then it clicks. You know that voice, but you haven't heard it in quite some time away from a radio. It's 10-4.
I feel like Achira would have she has a call signal with the Citadel. Would Ender's line also use call signals?
I'll allow you and 10-4 to decide that together.
Absolutely.
Okay. For the Citadel, she's known as Glider. I think for Ender's, I like her being known as Last Resort. But I know it has to be just like one word.
Last resort is very good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, who said it has to be one word? 2 words
Rules.
works.
Okay.
So how would you like to use this?
I think that just Chira would say somewhat loudly so that it carries so that people can hear her voice. Well, it looks like this is our last resort. Over and out.
I need 10-4 to make a spot listen with 2 black dice of difficulty, please.
Whew. Yeah, I got the dice loving me tonight, so that is no, it's still just within 1 degree of failure.
You do have competency. Would you like to use it to make this a success?
No.
You do not hear anything clearly. You hear a voice, you hear multiple voices around you, but it's lost on you. You're being dragged. The sound of your boots scraping against broken, shattered concrete, dead foliage, the crackling of leaves. Reese. 2 sets of strong hands push you forward. Do you resist in any way?
I do. And I also say, as I push back against, I say, you bastards killed her. You killed her.
Child, move.
I'll walk.
They walk behind you, but they're very cautious. You can feel the tension in their bodies. You can feel it through their hands as they guide you forward, Reese. There's a strange smell in the air. Something that you recognize. An herb. Make a spot listen check.
With difficulty or no difficulty?
2 black dice of difficulty. Thank you for asking. I appreciate your honesty.
Oh, no. Six, 7. What is it, 52? 40, 50, 42. 1 degree of failure.
You have competency. Would you like to
Yes.
use it?
I would like to, yes.
How many competency would you like to spend? If you spend 1, it makes it a wash, which is still a failure in this game, but it is not one that would affect you in any way, shape, or form. If you spend 2, you'll make it a success. The more that you spend, the greater the success.
I'll spend 2. I'll spend 2 points.
With 2 competency, it makes it a success. You don't recognize the specific herb. But it has a sharp tang. You know certain herbs that you've used in the past to desensitize and remove pain in the horses that you've bred. Sharp, metallic smells as you continue forward.
Knox, if I may ask.
Yes,
My hands are bound.
correct.
I have a burlap sack over my head. I'm being taken to some location. I have no idea, and I'm literally surrounded by what can only be construed as the enemy, and there is the diesel smell in the air. Is this a location hazard?
No.
It's a good sell.
You hear
I tried.
metal.
I tried.
You hear metal gates open, and all of you come out of the darkness. It was night, but now it is day. The bright, blinding light from some unknown source pushes past the burlap over your eyes, and you see shapes and colors moving before you. You are all now in a location hazard.
Good job, you did it.
Just a little slight.
You did it. Everyone, you did it, everyone. End of the game.
There is movement. Each of you feel your knees buckle underneath you as they drop you to the ground. I need to know each of your intentions. We'll start with Reese.
I would like to reach into my boot to pull out the very first railroad nail that I ever made as a blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
I keep that in my boot for good luck. And I'd like to conceal that in my palm.
I'd like for you to make a stealth check.
Sneaky.
So it's 52 to 49. Is that 1 degree of failure, or is that a wash?
It's a single degree of failure.
Okay, 1 degree
You
of failure.
take the tens digit.
Okay. So 1 degree of failure.
1 degree of failure. Would you like to do anything about that degree of failure?
Let me start coughing.
Is there anything else with the cough? Would you like to spend a competency to change that degree of failure?
Yes, please.
Okay. And are you removing 1 or 2 competency points to allow this to be a success?
Just the one.
Just the one,
yeah.
so it's a wash.
Yeah.
So you're gonna start coughing, and as you roll, you don't think anyone spots you. Can I see those?
Certainly.
Thanks.
You don't have to do that.
I love it.
You feel coarse hands on your boot. It's pulled from your body.
Yeah.
They take the nail and your shoe.
They took the man.
I will get that back.
Just 1, 2.
Do you say that?
That's hard.
Yes.
It will be a return to you. Fear not. Figures move around you, shadows, there's movement and light. You hear a weird crackle of electronics. The feedback from a speaker. Polly, you're not used to this level of noise. It's terrifying and strange and alien. You've heard radios, and you've seen the VHS players through which you've learned so much about this world, about the world that once was. It seems so different. This sounds like a demon. Crackling and popping and whizzing. Something is happening all around you. Some of you immediately recognize very large industrial-grade speakers. Children, we welcome you to your salvation. I am Brother Hayworth, and this is the trial of the factions of the region known as Pin, the Iron Cage. Each of you are representatives that have been brought here by divine providence. Your choices will be judged. Your sins will be bared for all of us to see. No longer will you lie in your dark viper pits, but we shall pull you from that dark. And you will walk clean once more. Ten-4, what is your intention?
Ten-4 is going to see if he can struggle in a way as to get this burlap off of his head.
So be it. What do you think is fair here? Would you like to bid a skill?
Oh, let's see, probably grapple or lift pull. Neither
Let's
is
make
great.
it a lift pull. And we're going to do so with one single black die of difficulty, again, because you're bound.
This is going to go fantastic. Again, this is exactly what 10-4 does for a living, I promise. Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
It feels like it's catastrophic.
Yeah, that's gonna be 5 degrees of failure.
Oh no.
Wow.
10-4, do you wish to use any of your competency to mitigate this disaster?
Yes, I will go ahead and spend 2 to bring it down into a failure range as opposed to a catastrophe.
You smack your head against a hard piece of rock as you try to throw your head over to pull the burlap off, and you miscalculate and tumble over. There's a sharp thud, everything rings in your ears, and you feel a trickle of blood.
Yeah, that about adds up. Of course, that's what you would roll. All right.
That's a 5 and a 3 on your damage track.
Still under the damage threshold, so it's all right.
Your head is killing you now, 10-4. Do you say anything?
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
There's a body not too far from you. You're certain now, Chira.
Mm-hmm.
You know the voice. What is your intention?
Chira is going to kind of do a turtling in type of move, which would put her butt on the ground. She's going to try to slide her bound hands to underneath her knees and then cover it by like she's slightly rocking back and forth. She's stealthing this.
You're taking something that you have hidden out of your clothing or your skin.
Out of my clothing.
Achira likes to hide things. She's very good at it.
Is it your scythe? Is it your full-size scythe that you're hiding?
Unfortunately, my scythe was found in an earlier game, and they threw it out of a moving car.
Oh, that's right.
And I have yet to find
Is it
it,
because you
but
hit
I
too much?
will.
Is that why you got thrown out of a car?
I
That
wish
was
you well in
that game
endeavor.
hurt me.
You're going to need to make a stealth roll for me.
Okay.
However, because of the clear description that you gave me and the training that I know you have with pulling these tools from these hidden pockets, I'm not going to inflict any dice of damage or a dice of difficulty. You may make the roll as you see fit.
Okay. I don't have any gear that can go into this because I'm assuming that they took everything else.
They took everything else.
Okay.
Anything that was overtly a weapon. How bad is it?
It's, it's not horrible. My stealth is a 50 and I got a 60.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna use some competency points to make this into a success. So 2 makes it a wash. I will do 4 to make it 2 degrees of success.
Describe what you have pulled out from your clothing.
Achira has, she secrets in her pants a flat, ragged piece of slashing metal. She loves slashing things, and she has that now secreted in the palm of her hand, which she has curled up against her body. And with that, she's going to very lightly start slashing at her rope.
You begin cutting the bonds that are holding you. Polly, do you have an intention?
Yeah. Polly resists every urge in her body, hearing that voice, to not go, ugh, lame. And tries to, since she stayed kind of limp, like she was passed out, try to very carefully begin to pull at the bindings at her wrist and kind of slip her way out of them.
You're trying to pull yourself free. Let's call this a grapple.
Ooh, sure.
And I will not impose any dice of difficulty. I have a feeling that Polly Pocket is fairly adept at moving and escaping any sort of bonds that might be tying them. I feel like we're going to give you the opportunity here to do this without any difficulty dice.
Okay. Let's see how we do. Oh, ouch. All right, that is a 79 on a 28. So I'm going to spend, let's see, that is 4 degrees of failure, correct?
We'll call it 4.
Sure. I can't mitigate this failure fully,
I know.
but I will spend 2 so it's not such a terrible failure.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
Sure.
Spend 1.
Spend 1.
Keep it from being catastrophic and ride out the other 3.
Perfect.
You'll have 1 competency remaining for the hour that we have. Here
Oh,
at the
no, I
stage.
still have more than that.
Oh,
but
you do?
yeah, no.
By all means, spin 2.
No, I'll do the 1. I'll take your advice.
So be it. You pull yourself forward and you twist your wrist and it hurts. You don't cause any damage to yourself, but you know this is going to be harder than you think. They have really bound you tightly around the wrists. And you've kicked yourself over and you are working quickly to try to remove those bonds. However, you have failed. Faith, do you have an intention for me?
Yeah, I'm going to try to talk with these arresters of ours. I step forward. I'm still bound, still have the sack on my head. Listen, Brother Hayworth, if you can hear me, I got a long talking to by one of your new recruits, Lampwick, and actually it made a lot of sense to me, but I don't think this is the way to go about getting new followers. Sister Hayworth talked to me, or nope, not wrong one. Sister, Deidre's her name. And you all have a lot of medicine here. You have a lot of supplies. I feel like we can talk. If you can remove my sack on my head, we can talk like human beings. I know you all say that you're saved, or I don't know, making humans into half zombies or whatever it is you're doing, but I just want to talk with you. Can you?
There's a loud screech of a mic and feedback through the speakers. It rings through all of your ears. And then it sounds like a tape. You hear someone breathing hard, as if they're moving through a heavy wooded area. The crackling of leaves. You see strange movement in front of you through the bag. The light is moving, as if it has a life of its own. What do?
I try to move towards where that light is going, for what I can see.
You start moving forward.
Are we going to talk, or are you going to treat us like animals?
What the hell? What is that? You recognize that voice. It's Betamax.
Son of a bitch, Betamax, didn't I tell you to stay in the goddamn car?
I can't. Kusanagi's. Fuck. This isn't right. We gotta get out of here. I can't believe he's brought us into this.
All right, are
You
you
hear
bound and
movement.
blindfolded? What's going on?
No, it's coming through the speakers
Oh.
around you. It sounds like a recording. There's other motion. What? And then a gunshot. And then running.
All right, fuck this. I'm gonna lean down to, I have like 70 knives on me at all times. Maybe they didn't get one, so I'm gonna go down to my boot and see if it's sticking in there to try to get myself out.
All right? Do you want to make a stealth check, or do you just want to do a lift pull and do it fast?
Lift pull.
Lift pull it is.
Any difficulty on that?
No difficulty.
That is, if it's a 28 on a 35, is that still
Yeah.
1 degree?
1.
1 degree of success.
Would you like to change that and improve it?
We're in a building, we're not in a forest, right?
You're not in a building, you're outside. You feel the air on you.
We're in a
There's
forest?
light.
Yeah, okay, I get
You're
the
not in the
truth.
forest, though.
Oh, wow. I even had this go.
Would have helped me a lot.
It's cool. I'm good. Yeah, I'll use 2 more. We have an hour left. 20 minutes left. I'll use 2 more competency points.
Let's pretend like GenCon has given me permission to run this as long as I want. What would you like to do?
I would like to spend 2 competency points to do this super good. Get
Okay.
out of my my burlap sack and binds, and or at least the binds, and
You grab your knife and with a quick motion, trained soldier that you are, you cut your bonds. Your hands are free.
okay. I quickly rip the burlap sack off my head, and I'm ready to fight.
You've heard of this place. No one comes here. This is dead land. You're in the middle of a stadium. You see lights. You smell diesel generators everywhere. There are fences and metal barricades that surround you. You're on an overgrown, twisted field. There are pits everywhere and cages of the dead, all silent and staring at you with empty white eyes. Not a groan. Nothing. At your feet, behind you, you've taken 2 steps. You see the others. Roughly 13 individuals. Some of them you recognize, some of them you don't. There is a combat knife, a revolver, and a single bullet. It's a .38 special. It's not loaded. Everyone has one near them. What do you do?
I grab all the weapons in front of me. Do I recognize Achira underneath her burlap sack? Or her clothes definitive enough that I would know?
I'll allow you to make a spot lesson.
Okay. That's a 3 degrees of success.
Is there any way I can contest this?
To be seen?
Yeah, maybe I'm too coward over not my usual stature.
I would say that you could, if you could see that she was looking for you. However, given the situation, you're unaware of whose eyes are actually on you.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't allow it to be contested.
Okay.
3 degrees of success?
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure Tin 4 is here? You're pretty sure Achira is here?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know that yet.
There is a cage swinging from metal rafters above. There's a bright, strange screen. This place was once known as Three Rivers Stadium. There's an image, like a blurry, held image, a picture. You know how VHS works. Someone is playing back the tape that you found, and it's on repeat. It rewinds, and then it stops, and it shows your brother stalking through the woods, gun drawn, not dead, not infected, not that you can tell, angry, moving. Someone is in the underbrush, and he's aiming down with that gun, that rifle. There's someone else near you. Reese, what is your intention? They took your boot and the nail that you made.
I'm going to attempt to stand and get the burlap sack off my face so I can see what the hell is going on.
I'll allow you to make a grapple check. No dice of difficulty. As you pull yourself free.
Ooh, that's 3 degrees of failure.
You stumble and you fall. Somebody falls near you, Faith. You don't recognize him.
Hey, get up. This is weird. I take my knife and I just take I cut his binds first, and then take the burlap sack off.
Describe Faith to us.
Faith is a tall, very muscular woman with short black hair, and just has it looks very incredibly serious, a weirdly low voice, and has a lot of military gear on, military boots, and yeah.
You recognize Citadel markings.
So I'm still wearing my armor.
Okay. So I look surprised and I'm like, what is happening?
I don't know. There's a weird cult. They turn humans into half Romeros, and I feel like that's the whole story. I think they're probably going to kill us. So this does not look good. And I point to the Romeros in the cage. They're probably going to let them loose on us. We're not going to make it out of here if we don't fight.
Do you have anything? Can I have a weapon or?
Everyone has a set below there. There's a knife, revolver, bullet. One bullet? I don't know.
Oh.
Just use the knife.
Yeah, I get the.
I think
the
we need
knife.
to work to get out of here. I'm going to start getting everyone else loose. I don't know. we should do the same.
Sure.
The speakers crackle again.
Would we be able to hear the exchange that just happened?
Spot listens all around. I'm going to need a few degrees of success given the distance and the crackling of the speakers. No dice of difficulty, though. How'd you do, Polly?
1 degree of failure for me.
Okay, you don't hear anything.
1 degree of success.
That's good. Would you like to add anything to that to make it 2?
No.
Okay. You hear it. You hear Faith's voice. You know it's Faith's voice, but you can't make it out. It's just too far away, but you know it is Faith.
Just the fact that it's Faith, I'm going to slash the binds that I have all the way and pull off my burlap sack.
You see the stadium around you. Razor wire is wrapped. You're caged in here. There are gates that have been marked off with large wrought iron gating that is holding back what looks like at least 100 of the dead. Romeros. Empty-eyed, rotten. Their strange, translucent skin pulled across their faces. Infinite smiling stares. You've never seen Romeros this quiet.
I see the weapons in front of me,
You do.
and that there's only 1 bullet in front of each
Only
person.
1 bullet.
If not now, then on my next turn, I want to stealth taking as many bullets as I can before people's burlap sacks come off.
Understood. I'd like for you to make that stealth roll now, and I'll come back to you. 10-4. I'd like to know your intention. Your head is ringing. You hear more voices. You think they're familiar to you. But that crackling, that tape, you know their game. They have way too much. You were aware of this for some time. They've been kidnapping people, and they've been gathering a lot of information.
Wrecking my safe houses. Yeah, I guess we're about due, aren't we? And he's going to kind of firm himself back up to a somewhat sitting position, and while in the process of doing that, he's going to work his hands down and do his legs. And he's not even going to be remotely discreet about it. He's just very jarringly trying to get his binds around his legs.
Given how long you've been working at them at this point, as long as you're open about it, you're not trying to be stealthy about it, anyone with remaining bonds on them or hoods can remove them if they spend their next intention doing so.
That is what 10-4 is up to here.
I assume that each of you just force the hoods off, pull yourselves free. The only problem, everyone else has been bound with rope. 10-4, you have handcuffs.
Oh.
That's real cute. All right. I'm going to kind of take a look around and survey the faces that are among them.
Before you do, and I feel like this is fair, Jira, what was your stealth?
I got 5 degrees of failure.
Someone steps on your hand
No.
as you're grabbing their bullet. You don't recognize this person. They've broken their bonds, and they've pulled their hood off. 10-4, you do recognize this person, and she's a badass. This is old Sally. She's the caravan leader. They gather old vehicles and supply them to the people of the Penn region. But if they got Sally, they got you, and they got everyone else here. That means that most of the leadership has been taken out.
This has turned into a tire shit show.
Now, hon, I don't believe that is for you.
Well, it didn't have anybody's name on it.
It has mine now. And she pushes you back and grabs the bullet and loads it into the revolver and snaps it shut with a certain amount of expertise that lets you know she's been around.
Fair enough. I am just going to sit over here and eat my food. By that I mean I will just stick to the weapons that I have in front of me.
You did get 5 degrees of failure.
I did.
Did you want to lower that, or should I roll a die for damage?
Darn it. Okay, I'll go ahead and spend two competency points.
That will remove the damage.
Okay.
Your hand hurts, but it isn't broken.
But you were real fun at parties back when we had those.
Honey, you don't even know. Polly, your hood is off.
Mm-hmm.
You can see everything around you. There's a VHS tape playing before you. It's a strange scene. It's not entertaining at all. There aren't any bright colors. It seems like someone filmed it with one of those recording devices. But Shira, now you see it as well. And you know exactly what you're looking at, and someone, you heard the name Kusanagi. Someone was filming everything that happened. Everyone is now free. Your arms free, with the exception of 10-4. But the burlap is off of all of you, and you can see. Some of you are very familiar with this place. It is in the Deadlands. No one comes here. 3 Rivers Stadium. Sporting events used to happen here in the time before. Now it's turned into a kill box. One specifically created to test all of you. Truth. Truth is divine. Can you hear it? The speakers crack and pop. Each of you hold lies. Lie after lie, and the sin and the weight of your sin echoes through this tainted garden. You have one choice to redeem yourselves. Face your lies and cleanse your enemies. We have removed all barriers. We have given you the tools to do so. You're squabbling, you're thieving, you're lying. It ends tonight. One of you will survive. The rest, well, you will walk with the children once more. Reese, what is your intention?
So I've grabbed the weapons. I want to load the gun with a single bullet. Do I see this preacher announcer anywhere, or is he somewhere safe just...
There are lights blazing down at all of you. This is more light than many of you have ever seen. Even those of you who were a part of the world before, and you're an echo. You lived, you remember small parts. You were young, but you remember going to sporting events. Perhaps you came here. Perhaps you watched the Pittsburgh Pirates play. You watched baseball here. And now the lights are being used as a weapon against you. There are shadows that move around beyond the fence. But within this arena, now that you are all free, you see no one. Only the dead behind gates, held back, a silent threat.
So I will move towards the rest of the group, and I'll say, who's the best shot here?
I am. Give me your bullet.
Yeah, give her your bullet. See what happens to your foot later. Or your back.
That's unfair.
I leave the group.
I'm not giving anyone my bullet.
What are any of you going to do with one bullet? Are you going to be able to do a headshot? I can. I can take down more of them than you could with your one bullet. Just give me your bullet.
It's a gruff-looking man. You don't recognize him. Why would we trust you?
I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to trust that I don't want one of those eating me, so I'm going to shoot as many of them in the head as I can.
I'll open the chamber and I'll drop the bullet out. I'll stay behind you and I'll give her the single bullet.
Achira, you have 2 bullets.
I'm Achira.
Reese.
Who are you with?
Cavalry, or I was.
You're a horse guy?
Yeah.
Polly kind of pops up behind Ajir and is like, "Hi, I love horses."
Yeah. I love them too.
Polly has picked up her gun and looks at Ajira and says, like, "No offense, but I do trust that you would want to kill the Romeros, but raw deal that was just said to us aside, how do we know you won't take all the bullets and shoot us?"
Why would I make more Romeros or have less people to fight Romeros?
One of us survives and gets to leave?
I don't trust that with them. These are the shepherds. Do you know the shepherds? To them, the Romeros are their children. The more Romeros there are, the better for them. I say the more of us are alive and the more of them are all the way dead is better for us. I don't know you. I don't know you. I know her. I
I'm
don't
like trying to climb
know.
a fence on the side, by the way. Just keep
Yeah,
going.
like Chiro just points her over there where she's trying to climb the side. I know, and then like Achira's eyes pass over the rest of the crowd, not really sticking on anyone. I recognize some other people here, but I'm just saying, unless you know for certain that you're a really good shot, then give your bullets to the people that are good shots, and I know that I am. I am, and actually the one that's trying to climb up on the side. She is too.
Probably better with the blunt end of this anyway. And takes actually hasn't even loaded the bullet in, hands it over to you.
I'm
2 other
Achira.
people give you bullets.
Polly.
Achira now has 5 bullets.
While this rousing speech is going on, 10-4 is going to actually make his way over to one of the gates that are currently holding the dead back and try to get a good read on what kind of mechanisms are keeping the gate in place right now.
All right. Bid your skill. What would you like to use?
Think and search.
All right. We'll allow a search. If it requires any sort of further investigation, we'll find out. But make the search check.
Good grief. 4 degrees of failure, and
We don't need roll 20. We can do it on our own.
yeah.
Welcome to Outbreak Undead.
I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 competency point. I don't want it to be a catastrophe here, but I will go ahead and just eat a failure.
The dead do not move. However, further back in that pin, you feel eyes on you. Not dead, lifeless eyes. Something intelligent and very large. You've seen these. You know what's waiting on the other side. Many of you do. Faith?
Yep. So I am currently looking for a way out that does not involve going through where the Romeros are sort of caged off. In a stadium, there's usually like a wall with sort of like bars or a caged fence area. Is there anything like that here?
Everything seems to have been buttoned down with mixed-matched tin sheeting, fencing, razor wire, lumber. You might be able to climb something, but there's no guarantee you'll get over it. Go ahead and make a search check.
Sure. All right. Okay. That's not great. It's not great. That's 2 degrees of failure.
2 degrees of failure?
I will use. I'll just keep this failure. Never mind. It's fine. It's
Are you
fine.
sure?
So I'm trying to like scrabble up things, tear down pieces of the plywood. It's
Sure.
Nothing's working. So eventually
You're
I kind of.
touching the fence.
Oh. Should I not touch the fence?
I'm going to say you're touching the fence.
Okay, I'm touching the fence. Now what?
Man, I see those.
What was that? No. You don't have to do that. You can just, guess.
I should need one of these.
So stressful.
That exploded.
Nope, not great.
A 5, a 4, and a 3.
Yikes. So that meets my damage thresholds. That means I take.
You're going to push one over to your wound track. You
Okay.
have to get rid of something so that it doesn't any longer. This was a 9.
Oh.
It rolled 009. You feel an intense and powerful shock work through your body as your hands char and you're thrown backward.
Okay.
You roll through the dirt and your body seizes for a moment as your back arches. Thankfully, you were blown away from the fence.
All right. Not great.
There's another crackle, another pop. The tape freezes on an image, and you're looking up at it. Your brother, gun pointed. You don't know how they're doing it. It feels like the camera is pushing in. You see a shape, a dark shadow. And for the briefest moment, you think you see a face you recognize. Spot listen with 2 black dice of difficulty.
What is this
5,
playing
6.
on? Is this playing on a screen that can be shot?
You may shoot at it. It's the large jumbotron above the arena itself.
Oh no.
21.
How many
Oh my god.
degrees of failure are you looking at? I mean, this does make a certain amount of sense considering you were just shocked by an electrified fence.
Right.
So I started out real great. What did I just say? 26?
26,
I
yeah.
rolled 26 on my difficulty dice because it exploded 4 times. Wait, sorry, what, spot listen? So that's only actually 2 degrees of failure, which is kind of crazy for how bad that was.
All right. Is there anything you want to do or just 2 degrees of failure?
I'll take, because I feel like I know what's going to happen, I'll go ahead and use 3 competency points to make that 1 degree of success instead. Getting tapped out soon, though.
This is 10-4. We've been working real hard. I gotta say, it's been tough. We've been tracking down the dangers that have been pulling through. I can't talk too freely here on this channel. We're gonna have to let Zone 6 and Zone 7 go. Let them burn. Can't afford to help them any longer. Too much danger. I know what you're gonna say. Damn it, Red, we can't go gallivanting off just because there are children in that community. Let it burn. Your own voice reckons and reverberates through the arena. What's your intention, 10-4?
Gonna see, taking my background from before the fall and the various handiwork that he got involved in. Having seen Faith get shot off the fence. I'm gonna see if I can figure out where the electrical system is feeding in from. Electricity is not easy to generate these days.
Certainly not. They have a lot of resources here. This was not simple. All of you are certain of that. What would you like to bid? I believe something more advanced is going to be needed here. I'll allow you to think about it. We'll come back to you. Polly, tell me what you're doing. All of this is popping around you. You hear voices you don't recognize, things that you don't know why they're being played, but they're everywhere. The sound and the lights are sort of terrifying and maddening. You're so used to being in the darkness, but here you are. And they've pulled you out from your home in the wilds. What would you like to do?
I think I, for a moment, just place both hands over my ears, trying to just stop this barrage of sense that is coming at me that I've never heard before. And then I'm going to look to essentially the only person that I have met here at Jira and go, well, is there any way that we can get out of here?
Chira saw Faith take a swan dive off the electric fence, right?
Less of a swan dive and more of a catastrophic drop kick from.
From what I can tell, the walls are electrified. They are surrounding us outside. There's only a matter of time before those gates open to let these Romeros that I've never run into silent Romeros before out. And there is no way that that is the only thing that's behind those gates. Not when it comes to the shepherds. They make Romero abominations. One hunted me for months without me even knowing it until it found me. Sorry, what was your question?
How to get out? But what if that's the only way through?
From what I know of the shepherds, everything about them is a test. Everything.
There's a woman. Maurice, you see her first. Dark hair, streak of gray through it. You don't think you recognize her. She seems familiar. Maybe you passed each other in one of the various communities in your travels. You're not sure. 10-4, this is Elizabeth Stride. She's a member of the Breadbasket. She's a trade farmer and a doctor. She's shaking. She's loading the gun. And she's looking at Achira. They want us to kill each other. We can't kill them.
We can.
And we don't have to do anything hasty. We still have time to figure out what we're doing here and how to get out, right?
Look at your social skills. I would like for you to bid for me a skill to try to calm her down.
Okay.
You'll find Calm Other.
Calm. Okay.
I can't do this. I've got to get home. They need me. I'll do whatever they want.
It's 2 degrees of failure.
I can't. I need intentions, and I need speed dice.
I'm going to go for the gun, for her gun.
You're going to jump for the gun? That's your
Yeah.
intention? I want 1 blue speed die,
Okay.
and I'd like for you to make a grapple. What about you, Faith?
I'm done being electrocuted, so I'm heading back to the group to see what's going on. I see this woman is about to draw on somebody.
It looks like she's looking at a cherry. You're not sure.
Oh, should I let her do it? I'm gonna get my gun ready, but I'm gonna wait to see That's crappy. I'm gonna see if I can disarm the woman without killing her.
Make a sense motive
Okay.
and roll 1 blue speed die. 10-4.
I'm gonna go ahead and go brazen here and stick with my plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a construction and engineering check to see if we can sort out where the electrical feed is coming from.
You're very brave. But it may give you the key that you need.
Maybe, if we can roll that low, which I don't know if I can tonight. Yeah.
Markia, what is it your intention?
My stealth is not working for me today. I was going to try to, since there's 13 individuals,
Sure.
kind of stealth my way in the crowd when I notice that I'm being looked at. However,
Crowd is a bit of a stretch because you are on a baseball diamond, effectively. It's all grown over. It barely looks like one any longer, but all of you are fairly well spread out unless you've started to group together.
that is why this didn't work.
Probably.
Yeah. Because I got an 87 and my stealth is 50. So
All right. Polly?
Is there any time to make a last plea?
Yeah. Give me a stealth skill. Do you want to try to calm other? Or would you like to try to do something more drastic?
Yeah.
Intimidation?
I'd like to go for Calm Mother. I think Polly sees what she's saying, what she's doing, and steps forward and says, Atira is right. There is no way that we know that they're not just going to open those gates on us the moment that we kill each other. Okay. That is a 40. So that's 1 degree of failure. So I'm actually going to spend 2 competence points to make that a success.
A single degree of success?
Yes.
All right. I need to make a roll. No. What is your speed die?
I got a 3.
All right. What was your speed?
4.
4?
Four.
4? 4? 2. Achira, you first try to move through. It doesn't work. And then you get a 3. You start saying what you say, and then the 4s. You all are working things out. You did not roll well enough. Do you have competency that you want to spin to try to fix your
Do
engineering?
have competency, and it's really just going to keep me at a failure instead of a catastrophe, because I had 5 degrees of failure. So I'm spending the last 2, because fiddling around, messing with electrical systems, I don't think that would be great for me. So
I'm going to spend 100 risk.
Chet did this. I know they did this last week.
They
all right, I
did.
need dice.
And I saved every
Running that
one of
program
them for
to
this
players.
moment.
That's great.
The gates
How
open.
did I not?
You hear a mechanical whirl as the chains tighten. All of the gates open, and the dead are just standing there. And 10-4, you turn. And Elizabeth Stride shoots you. She hits. She hits very well. I knew people. I knew those children. I birthed some of them, you son of a bitch. A 3, a 5, a 2, and a 5. It could have been a lot worse.
all right, so it's going to be a couple entries here for 10-4. Go ahead and slap 5 and a 3 on the first health point. 5 and a 3 on the second health point. And the 5 and the 2.
How many wounds is that?
2.
2 injuries?
The 5 and the 2 I'll just be holding on to.
It's definitely a flesh injury, and I'm going to say it's probably bone as well. I think your shoulder explodes and your arm falls limp. I'm going to roll a single d6, high or low, for your working hand. Whichever, if you're right-handed, left-handed, you want high or low.
Hi.
Congratulations, it's your offhand.
All right.
You feel your shoulder explode inward. There's bone that breaks, and the bullet you think is lodged in there somewhere, which is the worst possible outcome of that. As you drop forward, and you just feel the shock wear off, and there's an intense, horrid pain that works its way through your body. Reese, what's your intention?
Well, after seeing her shoot, I apologize.
You were tackling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was trying to tackle, did not work out. She had the single bullet, so I'm going to, with my knife, hold her in position.
Make a grapple check for me, please. And I'm not going to impose any dice of difficulty. She seems just broken. She sort of seems like she's let go of something in this moment. Please make the roll.
Yeah. Is that 40 or 4? I think it's 40, right? 14. Double 0 plus 4 is...
You had tried so hard to make it across to her. You just weren't fast enough.
Okay.
You rushed forward. You were very close, and then she pulled the trigger. And it wasn't a Chira. It was 10-4. You're there now. You're easily able to react. I'm sorry, what was your degree of success or failure?
This is a 4%?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have lots of success. Well, I have 2 degrees of success.
You grab her, and you have her held at knife point.
Yep.
She's not fighting you. She drops the gun. He deserved it. I don't care what happens. But I gotta get out of here.
Will you fight with us? I mean, I heard the same thing that you heard, but will you fight with us?
There's another crackle. Honey, please call me back. This is just a tape. It sounds like it might be from an old answering machine. You stop, Achira. Your spine runs cold as Blaine's voice echoes throughout the entire stadium. Honey, please. I don't care. I don't care whose baby it is. I can make this work. I know you don't think so, but I can be a good father. You don't have to run. I love you. You're all I have.
Achira shoots the speaker.
You turn and you fire and you hit a speaker and it explodes outward, but there are so many more. You have 4 bullets.
I walk over to Achira. Doesn't feel great, does it?
Is this really the time, Faith?
Absolutely not. But I am telling you, it does not feel great. And I've seen this tape already. I've seen the one before that. Did not see them about 10-4. I was not actually anticipating how shitty he was, but eh.
I didn't know that about 10-4 either. Not children.
Well, we've all got some secrets. We've got to get out of here, and I made a decision to not hunt you down anymore. So we're going to have a real normal talk at some point, but not now. So we're going to, I don't know, kill all these Romeros and get out of here, you think?
That was like the weirdest short conversation ever, but yes.
We're living in bad times. All right,
Amen
10-4.
to that, sister. Old Sally speaks up to you. I'm with you all. I'll fight out. I don't care. If I go, I've seen my day. What about you? Candy Cane, you in?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. Nothing else to do on a whatever night this is.
Is your name Candy Cane?
No, it's Polly.
What's that?
The name?
Never mind. And what was your name again?
Reese.
What's that? Okay, all right.
It's
So
like a candy.
I don't know what that is. All right, 10-4. Can you walk? Are you good? What's going on over here?
10-4's on the ground.
10-4, can you get up
In
or what?
front of an open gate.
Oh, okay, all right.
And the dead are standing there, staring at all of you.
They're not advancing on him?
They're not moving.
Achira's going to go over to the open gate that 10-4 is in front of.
All right.
Pistol at the ready, pointed at the head of the first Romero on the gate.
Do you do anything else?
I'm going to try to drag 10-4 out of that area.
I'm going to cover them. Grab whatever you are good at. Welding, I don't care what it is. You can throw mud. Get it and get over here.
Or disabling the electric fence. I felt like that was some good instinct. All right. I run and try to get 10-4. No, I think that's line first. Okay. Oh.
Is this coming from the rest of the speakers? Are there more than 13 speakers?
Oh my God. Those all our bullets we kill all the speakers.
They continue to sing. Do you shoot additional speakers?
Are there more than 13 speakers?
You don't have enough bullets.
Then there's no point.
The dead start to move. I need
With-
everybody to give me a final intention.
Oh.
Maurice?
I have my knife ready, and if any of the dead advance and try to stop Faith from pulling 10-4 out of there, I will move in to assist with the kill.
There are people that step forward, but they stop. They see your intention. They know you're going to do what you're going to do. People are grabbing weapons, those that you've barely spoken to, some of them that you don't recognize. 10-4, people are coming towards you. Faith, your intention is to pick him up?
Drag, yeah.
Lift pull, both of you?
1 degree of success. I'll use the rest of my competency to make that 3.
1 degree of success, I'll use 2 to make 3 as well.
Both of you pull 10-4's battered body away from the dead as they are slowly walking forward, still silent. But something behind them is not quiet. Ajira. The figure that steps out also has a burlap bag. 2 eye holes are ripped in it. Bulging white eyes, muscles, strange pulsing veins, black, working their way through the flesh. Start moving towards you.
I told
you
you they
pull them
make
away.
abominations.
No kidding.
Polly, Achira, what are your intentions?
I'm taking down the big thing that's saying my name, because after it finishes with me, it'll take out everybody else anyway.
You're firing at the large shape behind the dead?
Headshots if possible.
I wish you well. There are 3 gates. 3 hordes of the dead that are emptying into the arena. 10-4.
Who all is directly around 10-4 at this point, aside from Faith, who's kind of dragging him back?
Us too.
Is the doctor still around?
The doctor is still around, standing there, grabbing a knife and starting to move towards the collection of people. You see old Sally, some other individuals that you recognize, perhaps you know their names, perhaps not, but they're all gathering around Achira.
Interesting. And the dead, are they just generally flooding into the arena, or are they targeting Achira specifically?
The dead seem to be flooding into the arena and moving towards the center, which just happens to be where everyone except for you 3 are. Everyone is tightening up, pulling closer and closer together.
Interesting. All right. I'm going to kind of grab Faith's arm and go, Stop. And start moving up to the wall alongside where the dead are actually pulling in from, rather than letting her continue dragging me towards the mass of the rest of the people.
Do you allow 10-4 to pull away from you? He is weakened. You have a good grip on him. If you don't allow it, it doesn't happen. The choice is yours between the two of you.
I'll allow it. You got a better idea? I'd like to hear it.
All three of you get up against the wall,
Yeah.
and the dead pass you. Moving towards the center, they do not pay any attention to you. Like a flood, a dam bursting open. The dead lumber and walk silently forward with a large behemoth, an abomination, twisted and mutated.
I'm gonna look at 10-4 and I'm gonna say, we better not have used them as bait.
I am completely fine with that. I'm just letting you know. Opposite of what he said.
Let it burn. And 10-4 is going to slip out the door once the dead have cleared.
10-4 slips out the gate. Polly, what would you like to do?
I just have what was a revolver at one point and is now essentially just a blunt force object held by the barrel, and am standing with Ajira ready to just clock a Romero that comes towards me.
You push forward, ready to fight. You can go ahead and make a slash if you like with your dagger, or if you wish to use something blunt, you can choose a different weapon.
Yeah, I would like to use the blunt end of the pistol, if that's okay.
Very well. Go ahead and make that roll.
Great.
And do me a favor, roll one blue die.
One bleed die?
One blue die.
Blue die. Fantastic. Okay.
Y'all are Jesus freaks, and I'm sick of this. Old Sally's voice echoes.
That is 1 degree of success, and I got a 5 on the blue die.
1 degree of success, and you got a 5 on the blue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the dead lumber forward, and you strike, clubbing it across the head. It stumbles and drops, but another one is just standing there, waiting. They're getting closer. Do you continue to engage?
Are there any openings in the crowd?
There are. You could try to run through if you want.
I'm going to look to the people that have gathered around with us, and this is a horde, right? Just a mob of the dead.
From 3 sides, but there are spaces between those.
Right. Just so many, though.
You see 3 large forms behind each one. There are probably, in total, 100 dead and 3 abominations.
I'll look back at everyone and say, we're not going to make it if we don't run.
I intend on taking this one out, and then I'm going to run for it. If you're going to run now, do it now. I've seen what it does to others that run or try to fight it, so I have to take that one down.
Damn it, I'll help you.
What? You don't even know me.
I got a soft spot.
Polly, I need you to make a dodge roll. I need you to make a dodge roll.
Sure. There it is. Okay. That's oh wow. 2 degrees of success.
You slip away as a large hand swings right over your head. The hair on the back of your neck stood up, and you don't know how you knew to do it, but you ducked just in time, freeing yourself from the grasp of the abomination as it reaches over. It doesn't stop. It continues its grab, and then it grabs one of the dead, and then it swings it across by the arm at you, Achira. And
I did fire at it.
You did
that
fire?
Yeah.
How many successes did you have?
I got a 9% on it.
You did.
So, and my my pistols.
I lost that in the conversation. I apologize.
Yeah,
But you got.
it's a 43%, and I rolled a 9%.
It swings. You don't need to worry about the dodge. Its head implodes outward, and the large figure drops to its knees. The burlap sack soaks with black bile as it splatters outward in a gush.
Stick close to the wall. Slip between. Stay small. Stay quiet. They follow the song.
Reese,
And Achira doesn't even take a second glance at the rest of the people and runs with Polly.
Polly and Achira run. Reese and Faith, do you follow 10-4? Or do you stay and fight?
I'll look at Faith and I'll say, do y'all normally leave your companions behind?
Oh, like nobody here is friends. I just know them. It's a really long story. I feel like you maybe got the gist of it from overhearing. I will say this. I don't know you. I don't know most of these people. I know 2 people that are pretty bad, but maybe I used to be pretty bad myself. It doesn't really mean anything. But I get the feeling Achira might have saved me once before.
You see old Sally get pulled down by one of the hordes. She fires. Damn you, Jesus freaks!
I'll rush over to assist.
I'm taking aim at the Romero that was chasing Achira.
Do you wish to run into the horde?
Yeah, I'll run in.
How are you attacking when you enter in the horde?
I've got my knife. What I'm trying to do is get to Sally to pull her out, so if there's something in the way, I'm slashing.
You slash. You cut flesh. You slash again. You cut flesh. You're getting closer, but you see her in front of you. One of the dead rips a part of her cheek off, and the sinew stretches in front of you. Her eyes roll back into her head as she's pulled down, and you feel clawing, cold, clammy hands. And something bites your neck. Hot, warm blood gushes up. No one said anything about Jesus Christ here. Our God is so much older. It has persisted in the darkness, and human sin has roiled and festered through long ages. Calling him to cleanse these lands and bring forth the promise of dark tides, leaving the land to the children of the valley, the dead that roam. We have been the shepherds of this vision in the days before. We ended the world with your science, and you have all been damned. Thank you for joining us tonight.